Most people think a city like Dubai is too rich, too global, and too polished to crack in real time. They think danger has to look like a total destruction before markets care, but that's not how this works. The real break begins when confidence slips, because once people stop believing the premium is real, money moves, families hesitate, and the illusion starts leaking out of the system fast. Watch this closely, because what got hit in Dubai was not just a building, it was the belief that cities like this are untouchable.
Friday afternoon in Dubai, the markets are about to close for the weekend. Normally, this is when traders wind down. Dinner reservations, rooftop bars, another easy weekend in one of the safest looking cities on earth. Not today. Now, the Dubai financial market is in free fall. The main index was down 10% in 2 days. And here is the part that should really get your attention. The exchange had to lower its own circuit breaker rules just to maintain order. They cut the automatic trading halt threshold from 10% to 5%. Think about what that means. The market was falling so fast that they needed to stop trading earlier, just to keep panic from turning into chaos. Emaar Properties, the company behind the Burj Khalifa, the Palm Islands, the skyline, the image of modern Dubai itself, was down 10%. Emirates NBD, the UAE's biggest bank, down 10%. Damac, down 12%. The real estate story was being liquidated in real time. When you add up the stocks, the fleeing capital, the damaged confidence, and the hit to property values, conservative estimates put the damage at $75 billion in just 48 hours. And it all started with a single weapon that cost less than a fully loaded Honda Civic. This is the story of how a $50,000 drone exposed the weakness inside a $2 trillion brand. Because that is what Dubai really is. A brand. A promise. A promise that money is safe there. A promise that luxury can insulate itself from chaos. A promise that war happens somewhere else. And in one night, that promise cracked. The weapon was the Shahed 136. What makes it dangerous is not that it is advanced, it is that it is simple. This is not some futuristic missile. It is a cheap, disposable flying bomb. It flies slowly, roughly 115 miles per hour. It flies low, around 300 feet above the ground. That makes it awkward for high-end air defense systems, because the expensive systems Dubai invested in were built to stop bigger threats. Fast missiles, high-altitude aircraft, not something slow, low, and disposable. That is the trick. The drone is winning because it attacks the gap between modern defense and asymmetric warfare. That gap is where confidence dies. When the strike happened, the physical damage was limited. There were injuries, a fire, a few hours of chaos, but the building did not collapse. This was not mass destruction. And that matters, because the real damage was never the building. It was what the strike meant. Someone filmed it. That changed everything. The video spread almost instantly. You could hear the fear in the voice of the man filming. Not the fear of watching war on television, the fear of realizing it arrived outside his own window. That was the moment the event stopped being military and became psychological. And psychological shocks move faster than missiles.
Hey everyone, sorry to break in real quick, but if you want to go crush it in real estate during this next downturn, I put together the 4-class bundle, the real estate cycles, the home seller pro, so much more, the bear market course, and on top of that, I've got the, I don't even remember, there's so much in there. Oh my gosh, go take a look at it. It's one low price. It'll set you on a huge path to crushing it during this next downturn. Take a look, links down below. Now back to the video.
The strike hit a building. The video hit the nervous system of the city. Within hours, people were asking the questions that matter. Is this the only one? Will there be more? Is the airport safe? Is the port safe? Should we leave? Should we move money? That is how panic works. It begins with uncertainty. By the time the markets opened Tuesday morning, the damage had already been done. The Dubai financial market opened at 9 a.m. By 9:15, it was clear this was not a normal sell-off. Dubai's exchange is small. It is heavily concentrated in real estate and banking. So when those two sectors get hit, the whole market feels trapped. There is nowhere to hide. EMAR opened down 5%. Within an hour, it was down 10%. That was not just a stock move. That was the market repricing the idea of Dubai itself. Then came the moment that turned fear into confirmed panic. The exchange lowered the circuit breaker threshold from 10% to 5%. That is not a technical footnote. That is a flare in the sky. By noon, Emirates NBD was down 10%. That is the UAE's largest bank. And when banks start falling hard during a crisis, the message gets bigger. This is now about confidence in the system. Confidence in liquidity, confidence in property, confidence in whether capital stays or leaves. And Dubai depends on confidence more than most places. The hidden damage was bigger. To future deals, to capital flows, to the assumption of safety, to the premium Dubai spent decades building. The towers will still stand. The skyline will still look impressive. But something deeper was damaged. The illusion. Distance is dead. Subscribe.